Thank you, Mr. Betts. And I would certainly like to start by congratulating my honourable neighbour from North Wiltshire on securing this debate, and in particular for the dexterity and skill that went into securing a 90-minute debate, which affords many more of us the opportunity to participate. But primarily I rise in order to demonstrate to you and to the House the shared interests of my constituents and his. Chippenham is, despite Wiltshire being a rural county, one that has great affection for Lyneham and for the RAF there. And indeed, as we have already heard this morning, people from Wiltshire, far beyond the confines of Wootton Bassett, share in the honourable act of respect that ordinary people in our county pay to our fallen. And indeed, I've bumped into Chippenham residents on occasion after repatriation myself. In fact, even before I was elected, I was privileged to have the opportunity to visit RAF Lyneham as part of the excellent Sabre programme for employers supportive of our reservists. And we certainly saw there a very well-maintained base. We saw a very busy base, and one in which it was clear that there were a number of people participating in that effort who live further afield than the base itself. And that is an important consideration for us, I think, as we approach the future for Lyneham. My honourable neighbour has made a comprehensive case for the military benefits of the Army coming to Lyneham, and I do recognise that this must be primarily the basis for any decisions. But I think it is important that I take the opportunity to set out more of the economic consequences of this current situation. We've already heard that it is estimated that the contribution to the economy in Wiltshire of the MOD's involvement at RAF Lyneham is some £90 million a year. And that's an economic impact which is felt over a wide area, and it's one that my constituents in Chippenham voluntarily raise with me. And I think that that significance is reflected by the wide array of partners that have come together under my right honourable neighbour's chairmanship in the Lyneham Task Force, as they have sought to put together a vision for Lyneham, a task force under his chairmanship which includes the South West of England Regional Development Agency, which includes Wiltshire Council, which includes Wesley, our local social landlord, and, importantly, I would argue, the Wessex Association of Chambers of Commerce, which, amongst representatives of business groups, really does have a very acute understanding of the concerns of businesses in the area, and indeed an association of which I was a member until May of last year. I'm pleased to report to the House for the contribution to this debate a conversation with the chairman of Chippenham's Chamber of Commerce, who is very keen for the Army to come to Lyneham. And indeed, Chippenham's Chamber is very concerned about the widespread, and actually, from the point of view of ordinary members of the Chamber, quite hard to quantify consequences of leaving Lyneham empty. And I do suppose, Mr. Betts, that we must consider the possibility that we may be unsuccessful in our calls today, for it will not be easy for either Wiltshire or indeed the Ministry of Defence to make happen alternative futures for Lyneham. And the work of the task force considers some of these quite carefully. And I think it's important that the Minister should be aware that there isn't an easy alternative solution. With very level heads, they have considered the future aviation use of the airfield, but have concluded that a commercial airport development at RAF Lyneham would be wholly inappropriate. I would certainly echo the views of colleagues earlier that it will be important that a timely decision is made. Too many communities in other parts of the country have seen an area blighted by hanging on to unused defence assets. And ultimately, that leads to a very expensive regeneration effort. And it's certainly the view of people in Wiltshire that we need to have a clear future for Lyneham before very long. Without wishing to stray too far, there are lengthy debates about housing development in Wiltshire, and it's important to recognise that there are no easy get-outs by taking advantage of the land in Lyneham there. Surely it is essential that any future development in Wiltshire is a development of sustainable communities, and it would be an absolute travesty if we went for almost entirely housing developments that didn't provide the jobs for the people that were going to be living in our communities. And with the large population expansions that even Wiltshire Council still seems to desire for places like Chippenham, we cannot afford to take away a large number of jobs and present a great imbalance to the localised economy. It's important that although the site is very large, people do not imagine that somehow that all of that site would be suitable for development, and indeed we need to consider the potential of returning some of the site were it not to be successfully reused by the MOD to agricultural purposes. So please do not see this land as some kind of asset to be sweated, some kind of cash cow that presents financial benefit to the department as a reason for not supporting what I think has been an exceptionally well-developed case by all the partners under the leadership of my honourable neighbour here. And I will invite the Minister to consider in particular our anxiety that we should have swift decision-making about the future of Lyneham and our immense appetite across the community that should continue to be an association with the Ministry of Defence and an opportunity for us as a community to show our hospitality to the Army. Thank you.
Robert Sims.